Everybody, I'm back. It's me, Fun Figure Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite figures I got this year. They are not Transformers. I'll be making a separate video for that. Now, with that being said, these are my honorable mentions. Deadpool from the recent Deadpool and Wolverine movie from Marvel Legends. The Batman SH Figure Arts and SH Figure Arts Harley Quinn. The only reason they didn't make it on this list is limited articulation for an SH Figure Arts, but she still looks pretty good for her source material. I had to replace his, I had to get him a custom cape, not replace it, sorry, because I still have his original cape. I had to get him a custom cape and modify it to even fit him. And this one, it's just, I don't know, the head looks too big and I just don't like that. Also, it's essentially just a remold to me of the Deadpool 2 Legacy edition. So it just looks like a remold, with just a slightly different suit, But other than that, the figure has the same points of articulation as that one. That's the only reason they didn't make it on, Now, with that being said, we're going to continue with the rest of the video. And first up, we have, coming in at number 10, Venom. So this figure comes in at number 10 for a couple reasons. One, yes, this is a great Venom body, but to me, it's very limited still. I would have really liked for them to have added butterfly joints. And yes, you can make up for that with the diaphragm joint, but I don't know. It's not enough to me. And the only reason he actually made it on this list is because I use him very frequently. Although that might change since I have pre-ordered the SH Figure Arts Venom The Last Dance figure. So who knows? This figure probably is going to get dethroned. But yeah, other than that, that's number 10. Coming in at number 9, Deadpool and Wolverine. Now the only reason he's on this list is simply because I thought Marvel Legends did a really good job with him. Now, I have seen the SH Figure Arts version of him, and I don't think it's that impressive. I'll still pick it up, of course, because it could look very different in hand, but, he's number 9. And the main reason is I don't like it. I really wish they would just replace this with a diaphragm joint. It would just be way better, And also, his butterfly joints, you guys hear that, right? What the hell is that? It's like a ratchet joint. And not only that, his butterfly joints don't really even work. It's so weird. But other than that, he's not a bad figure, but he could have been better. It really could have. Right? Coming in at number 8 is Ant-Man, and things get dramatically better with this Ant-Man. All right. So, for starters, this Ant-Man is great. The only reason he's this low is because I couldn't figure out if I wanted to replace him with the with the number 7 spot, right? But honestly, the number 7 spot gives me more enjoyment over this figure, and that's not to say this figure is bad. This figure could have easily been number 7, but the other one just gives me far more enjoyment, right? This guy has great butterfly joints, as all figures should have, nowadays. This figure is a great release from SH Figure Arts. And honestly, it's definitely worth a pickup. The only reason he's so low, like I said, is just simply because I enjoy the other figure more. And that's really it. This figure could have definitely been a tier higher on this list. Coming in at number 7, The Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. All right, so where do I begin? This figure is great. This is probably the best Spider-Man body from Marvel Legends. This diaphragm joint right here, or torso cut, I guess. Not diaphragm joint. Well, I guess it is a diaphragm joint, but this torso cut, I guess, is great. Side to side, and then this little swivel here. I still don't like it, but it's better than nothing. It gives him such range and such movement, and he doesn't look like he's pregnant, right? Which is great. This figure is so great. I usually have this thing in hand at all times. This figure is so great. And at any point, I don't feel like this figure is too stiff. Like, it's just stiff enough to hold a pose, but without me feeling like I'm fighting the figure, you know? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to feel like you're fighting your action figures. You want to feel like you can actually pose them, you know? But yeah, that's why he's number 7. Coming in at number 6, this really could have been tied with number 5, but this figure has one glaring issue, right? This Mafex Storm I recently reviewed, and she is great. I am not saying she's not. But the only reason she isn't higher on this list is because I hate having to change out her hands because of this cloth piece and this golden piece. Like, it's so annoying. I really do feel like Mafex could have figured a way around this. But other than that, this figure is very accurate to her source material. Absolutely. She looks exactly like the Jim Lee Storm from the original X-Men comics. This is an accurate depiction of Storm. She looks great, you know. She moves great articulation everywhere pretty much. Right? No real hassle. This figure is great and a great representation of this character, Storm. Coming in at number 5, right? And I might get some flack for this. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think, but it's Poison Ivy from Batman Hush, right? Now, to me, this might be the best representation of Poison Ivy. Let me just adjust the camera, right? This might be the best representation of the character. And for one simple reason. Out of all the options we have, like we have the Kai Arts Arkham Poison Ivy, we have the McFarlane, and then we got this. I think this one's the best. In terms of articulation, it far exceeds the McFarlane by a long shot. And in terms of looks, I've always liked this look better than the Arkham look, you know. So that's why I prefer it more than the Kai Arts. To me, this is the definitive Poison Ivy figure. It's a great release by Mafex. Great articulation, of course, right? Yes, the hair does get in the way, but it's neither here nor there. Like, what are you gonna do, right? She can raise up her arms. Her joints move buttery smooth. Now, I did have to heat up her arm, right? But as you can see, no creaking whatsoever. This figure is great, and honestly, she has such a presence on my shelf. She looks amazing. And with that being said, let's continue to number 4. I am probably going to get flack for this because it's a Marvel Legends ahead of a Mafex. Somebody might find some flack might give me some shade for this, but whatever. This figure is great. This is probably one of Marvel Legends' best releases, let alone Hasbro's. This figure is great to move around. It feels great in hand. There's really no issues I have with it. And for a figure that's going for $25 retail price, this figure is honestly amazing and probably my definitive version of Wolverine in my collection, because I was contemplating getting the Mafex Wolverine, the one with the tiger stripes, or the one with the Jim Lee brown suit. But honestly, I don't think so. This just might be my definitive Wolverine for classic Wolverine. I'm gonna be honest. It looks and it feels amazing. It can pose like a dream. I mean, like, you can get it pretty much into most of the classic Wolverine poses, and it doesn't look ugly, you know? And the fact it has this diaphragm joint, which is something I thought the new Marvel Legends Wolverine should have had, the one from Deadpool and Wolverine, right? This is what the other one should have had, but it's great. And he has an ab crunch right here, so you don't even have to use the diaphragm joint. And when you do, see, that looks great. And the painted arm hair just adds to the aesthetic, right? Coming in at number 3, right? This figure is amazing, and I've used her a lot. She's very fun. My first Mafex female figure, I believe, I covered on the channel. And honestly, This is what changed my mind about Mafex, and it's why I've been getting more. She is amazing. My first Mafex experience with the Mafex Tom Holland upgraded suit was very, well, the figure was ass, let's put it that way, all right? But this changed my mind on Mafex. This figure is great, not was, is. Very little issues, and the only paint swap I have is on her, one of her cheeks, I don't know. But like right there, it's just a little bit of smidge of gold paint, and I can always take that off of nail polish, right? Like it's not that bad. She poses around easy. Her joints have never kind of like frozen on me or anything, right? She looks great. This is honestly, to me, the definitive Phoenix figure. Now I have gotten the celebrating 85 years, the recent Marvel Legends Phoenix, the one with the stand. But honestly, this is still going to be my to-go Phoenix. I'm probably only going to use the stand with her, right? Now, my last two figures, right? These two could honestly be interchangeable, but coming in at second place is the SH Figure Arts Hobie Brown, or Spider-Punk. Now, I know some people didn't like the Hobie Brown head sculpt, and me personally, I don't really mind it. I think it looks fairly accurate to some scenes in the movie, right? But I can definitely understand why some people don't like it. But to me, this figure screams amazing. This is probably the best Hobie Brown we're going to get until Mafex or Sentinel decides to actually release their version, right? And even still, it's going to be really tough competition for both companies. This figure is great. It poses like a charm. It feels great in every pose you put it in. Like there's really very little complaint I have. And I was kind of scared of these, right? That they might break eventually, but nah, you know, I've been using this for a bit and not a single thing of breakage, you know, and you know, I'm not rough with my figures, but I do tend to act out, you know, like not act out scenes, but like make my figures punch each other. Like let me get the Wolverine, right? Make them do that. I do tend to do that when I'm doing my stop motion, so I know how I want the fight to be choreographed. So this figure has held up really well, and it's why it's my second place besides its accuracy. Coming in at first place, and man, oh man, oh man, let me tell you, this figure is still my favorite. Ever since I've gotten in my hands on this SH Figure Arts red and blue suit or final swing suit, I cannot get it out of my hands. This is probably my to-go figure for Spider-Man. It's at the centerpiece of my display. There's just zero, for me, very little issues. Like some people find issue with this, right? Not being painted halfway blue. And honestly, to them, I'm like, I don't really care because it'll eventually chip. I'd rather it just be red like this than, you know, this turquoise blue, which will eventually chip, or not turquoise, but like, it's metallic blue. I don't really know the color, right? But I'd rather, you know, it just be like that. Now, I have seen the Mafex one, and I know it's up for pre-order. And honestly, yes, I have pre-ordered it for your information. And I don't think it looks better than this one. I still think this one is going to be better. Now, that could change once it gets a figure in hand, but let's be honest here. This one's going to be hard to beat. This figure is amazing. It poses great. It looks great in almost every pose you can get it in. Like, very, very little complaints, you know. And with that being said, that's my video for my top 10 favorite figures I got this year. Tell me what you guys think and what your guys' choices would have been. Do you have any differences? If so, tell me in the comments down below. That being said, I'm out, and she doesn't want to stand.